and entertain you. He's written a best book piece about the Windrush generation for tonight's events. So please put your hand together for Kurly. Thank you.
Good to be here. Thank you very much. Alright, so as Bernie mentioned, my name is Kurly. I'm based in Birmingham, work in schools a lot. Literacy is very important, words are very important. So a big part of what I do is around words. And I'm going to start this off with what might seem, at first, as a bit of a lecture about one word in particular. And that word is race. Okay. Don't forget. Don't forget you. Don't forget me. Don't forget us. Don't forget we. Don't forget that according to science, it's taken us 13.8 billion years for us to reach this very moment in time and space. So why waste another second of the 4,000 weeks that we have? That's roughly 80 years with God's grace, with such an irrational and unscientific idea as race. Many of us grew up encountering the negative connotations of the absurd implications of the word race. As a kid, it left me confused about my worth. But now, I know better. I am no longer letting race waste any more of my time here on earth, ever. Don't forget the lives and potential that the word race has already wasted. The amount of indifference it's created made our human family seem as though we were unrelated. It spiritually separated, mentally segregated us from the very reality of us being one. Don't forget. Physically, the clue is in the hue of colours across humankind. Yet colour was misused to racialise human beings into categories, to sub-categorise each phenotype into a man-made hierarchy of our true creators' like. A concept invented to divide and justify indefensible acts of terror that can never be justified. Don't forget, emotionally, how we still feel the legacy of this word's indifference, and still our response, of course, is resistance and righteous indignance from being sub-racially cast, typecast, and then cast adrift upon an already wrecked international relationship. Don't forget, mentally, for centuries before, this four-letter word permitted an empire to systematically organise mass exploitation and wickedness that remained untamed in a triangulated seasickness of greed and trade, which branded melanated people as only fit for chains. Strictly for currency. What else must you sell when you can sell a human being as a subhuman property? Legally, profiting systematically from systematic inhumanity. Part of my bloodline was lost in that currency, and like you, at this time, I find mine currently in this new wave. A windswept generation of capital producers rushed here to the heart of empire, the mother country. Some I fought for in world wars, but that country still did not love we. Especially post-war, out of uniform, wearing civvies, treated so uncivilized throughout the streets and cities. We wanted to see the same allyship witnessed at the Battle of Bamber Bridge. Googly, 1943, where in this Lancashire village, colonial British blacks and British whites united to fight against the American soldiers' racist views, the very same that the Nazis studied and used on white groups of Europeans, i.e. Romanian gypsies and Jews. But back to I and our direct families with their colonial education. They were not prepared, especially those that came back again after the war, so unaware of the true situation. However, They came with duty and dedication to rebuild a broken post-war nation, filled with anticipation. The slow speed of the journey tied their stomachs in knots. For 6 weeks that boat rocked as the temperatures dropped across 4,000 miles, where there were bed bugs, bad food, homesick, sad mood, segregated for the Polish on the ship. How is this gratitude? But yet, amidst the stress, blessed with some distractions, dominoes, cards, and dancing with faithful interactions. Finally, upon arrival, they were kept on the ship and bus to South London, and this hasn't been forgotten. They were not offered shelter in rooms, but they were put in underground air raid shelters in Clipperty-Clapham Common. The rumbling of the tube trains all around their heads. The welcome was like the weather, cold. No blacks, no dogs, no Irish is what the accommodation sign says. Hearts sunk, deeper into their stomachs, into deeper depths, trying to stay buoyant despite the blatant disrespect. Surviving, striving, thriving, despite the cold fronts, they were always acclimatizing, adapting, assimilating, and having to adopt. Each day was an exam test of character, whilst constantly being mocked. Many, like my nan, had to practice patience, despite being treated fiendish. With her Royal Majesty's picture on the wall, she was still victimised for not being able to speak the Queen's English. Sea legs, now walking on the hard road with grace in her soles. An island woman like the man written by Grace Nichols, rising defiantly each day like the sun. Ain't afraid of nobody, as there is work to be done. Accused of coming for the benefits, do me a favour. Don't forget they were invited due to the major population crisis and of course the shortage of labour. Dreams of a civil welcome were dashed upon the hard rocks of these shores, but they were reassured with faith. And of course, the right cause, which was to make a way for us here today. So think of all the scandals and question what the colonisers say. Don't forget, our family are the personification of aspiration that we were fortunate to know. Through the cooking, traditions, praises, accents, lessons and protections that helped us all to grow. Anchored examples of staying the course, or handling the rudder to course correct, to not lose our own moral compass when faced with such effects. So, the low role they have for me, my character cannot accept, especially when racial categories are artificial and inept. We have to call out the contradictions of all of these fictions, these definitions and depictions. Let's fortify our sovereign souls with their lived lessons to prevail. Write our own histories and futures with our own authorship. And of course, bigger sails. Don't forget them or yourself as opportunities flow. Work together to overcome what we have had to undergo. Let's use it, and own it. So, don't forget what they had to invest and sacrifice. Let's do our best by them and our best by what is right. Don't ever forget their mindset as you step out of this door tonight. Don't forget you. Don't forget me. Don't forget us. Don't forget we. Don't forget. See? Okay. Get ready. Get on board as we embark on this journey. Thank you for listening. My name is Kurly, and please welcome our compere back to the stage, Marlene.